Why, hello there, Twitch world. Welcome to SpeedGaming 2. We're doing a league race, Link to the Past Randomizer Invitational League Season 6 race between the Noble Foxes, represented by Obscure Lifeform and Hateful Bay, and Farm Friends with Windfox and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. Oh, it's week 7. It says Season 6, Week 7. That's what it is. Okay, I'm on track. I am Koi. I will be solo comming this, and I have not really been following League, so I don't think... what I was told was I don't think there's anything really at stake between the outcome of this, except that one of the teams won't get invited back to Invitational League next season if they lose, but they're both out of contention for the playoffs. But regardless of all that, this is co-op Randomizer, and these are great players, so I think we're going to have a wonderful time. Yes, hello. I haven't done commentary in a while, and now I'm by myself. I'm scared. Farm Friends may get relegated, right? Yeah, so if they lose, then their record wouldn't be good enough to come back to Invitational for next season. I imagine we're going to start here in a little bit. I don't really know what's going on. We're just going to figure it out as we go, chat. I believe it's just like regular 7-7 defeat Ganon seeds, but they have starting boots, and it's Randomizer. The runners will be sharing information with each other to minimize how many checks each of them do. Yeah, so we have opposite starts here. One of each player starting at Sanctuary and one each starting at Link's house. Although the routes have differed after that. Nice starting sword in Link's house. We'll see the other two players get there eventually. Even checking the fish price. Kind of out of the way to grab that 20 rupees though. Nice tier 1 tree pull though. 80 rupees is going to be very helpful if we need to check Zora or something similar. A skier heading straight to Kakariko. No lost switch check. And Windfox with the very quick Sahasrara finding 20 rupees, and not 20 rupees. Boomerang actually is not the worst thing to find in Randomizer. Every now and then you get an enemy that, just killing it's going to be too much trouble, but maybe I can just stun it real quick. Gibdos come to mind. And it looks like Hayfield going into front of escape with that quick sword. And Windfox going all the way into Eastern. Meanwhile, Obscure continuing the trek through Kakariko. Hasn't found anything of note yet in Blind Hideout, but maybe the well will pay us out. Heart containers, though. Everywhere in Kakariko, heart containers. Oh, nice hook shot, though. Hook shot's going to be another great item to find. And Hateful Bay reaching the first chest of Hyrule Castle. Just a green guard in the way. It's easier than vanilla. It's a fire rod as well. Fire rod's a great item. It does put Dark Cross into logic, even though this is Randomizer. So, I mean, it's not too likely, but it is possible we'll be forced to go through some dark room with a bunch of Lionels and such things. Master Sword in Eastern, players aren't going to be putting that off for too long. And a green potion in the map chest, or in the boomerang chest. Well, that's going to be a great find for Hateful Bay when he goes back to Kakariko to check Sick Kid. This is really hard solo calming 4 people at once, chat. Just a blue Bari guarding the Zelda cell here. And 10 arrows as our reward. Okay, so that's the end of Hyrule Castle. We found a fire rod there. And it looks like a bow. I must have missed the bow. Maybe that was in Uncle Drop. All right, Hayfield Bay continuing the route down to Mini Moldorm Cave here. I don't think we've seen this yet. Careful, Windfox. All right, Mini Moldorm Cave with another bottle. The lamp, that would be helpful. And Windfox saves and quits out of Eastern. Oh, we weren't going to go to Armos. Okay. This is VT Randomizer, right? Like, he can get to Armos, can he? Yeah, I guess the Darkroom is pretty challenging in Randomizer. I'm surprised that he went to Eastern, though. Like, if you weren't willing to go all the way, right? But maybe hoping to find something better. The Master Sword, I thought, might have been good enough to give it a shot, at least. Well, with Hayfield Bay's bow and fire rod, Armos is even in logic right now. Even more so than just doable. Oh right, it's boss shuffle. Okay, I didn't realize it was boss shuffle as well. Maybe the boss was not something amenable to 3 Hearts Master Sword. All right, so this is the fun part of co-op Randomizer, where everyone just does everything that the other runners had already done. But only the things that had good stuff, so it shouldn't be a little faster. But Obscure here is going to have to go all the way to the Boomerang chest. I have no idea what boss is in Eastern. They must have checked it. All right, so we have Farm Friends doing some flipper checks here. I don't think we have seen flipper checks at all. I'm a little concerned about the rupee situation. I'm not sure if Windfox is going to just Orphan Zora, or maybe just save and quit and get some rupees later. Heart piece on the hobo, not super helpful, and he is continuing to swim. If the mini Moldor will let him. All right, Obscure going back into the escape. This time we're going down through the Dark Room to get to Dark Cross. All right, nothing on the Hylia Island. Don't got to worry about that. And looks like Hayfield Bay is coming in here to grab heart containers, because I don't think there was anything else in Blind Sight Out. But all the health was in here. All right, Windfox makes their way into Waterfall Ferry, where we find nothing, and Blue Mail. Blue Mail is a nice thing in Randomizer. Blue Mail is very nice in Randomizer. And Dark Cross with just 50 rupees, Obscure has to save and quit. Where was this bow? I don't remember seeing the bow. And Windfox, unfortunately, having to orphan Zora here. No idea what's on Zora, but we'll take the money. It's still not enough money, but... Oh, it's Bottle Merchant, right, okay. Okay, that explains why Hayfield Bay had the bow. Alright, so far nobody's gone to Agina's Cave, I don't think. So that's probably where the progression is, right? Here, let's think about this. Where could the progression actually be that we're not keeping in mind? Maybe there was an item on Armos? Well, on the boss that's in Armos's room anyway. We haven't seen Agina's Cave. I'm not sure if we've seen the dam even. Although we'll get that now from Mr. Scruff. Aga is not accessible at the moment. Oh, never mind. Master Sword. You're right! Okay, it's probably an Aga Seed. Only one of the players has a Master Sword, so I wasn't considering it. But yeah, that's right. The Master Sword was in Eastern Palace, and that does give us access to Aga with our lamp. And seeing as how we have like hammer hookshot, we can do the entirety of the Dark World. And even if we didn't have that, the bow gives us logical access to the vast majority of pot as well. Yeah, it's definitely an Aga Seed. It's always pretty gross to make this play for Aga, though, when you're just one item away from it not being an Aga Seed, right? Like, just one item, and then I don't have to do it. That was a very weird order to open those chests, Windfox, but okay. Oh, I missed Agina's Cave, but I don't think it was anything good. All right, so Obscure and Hateful Bay need to make their way to Eastern, it looks like. Obscure also doing the flipper checks here, but also short the money for Zora. But that 300 on the ledge would be enough to get it. I don't know if Obscure's going to want to make the loop around, though. I don't think Zora was checked. I don't remember seeing it checked. I've only seen one runner head over to the Zora area, and they did not have enough money. Yeah, Obscure's checking for maybe free rupees real quick. No luck. And then he sees the 300 and is like, okay, fine. I'll go around. It's pretty gross to have to make this loop around to get Zora money, but I mean, I guess if Zora's nothing, you can tell your opponent or your partner not to worry about it. So that's nice. And Hateful Bay does make Noble Fox's way into Eastern Palace. We will find the Master Sword here, and as long as it's not something incompletable, I imagine Hateful Bay is going to actually do the boss here as well. And there's Fire Rod for Windfox, and he's headed on out. Got the information from Mr. Scruff not to bother. but still wants to check Dark Cross. And it was a glove on Zora. Oh no! So that's a thing. So yeah, that's not an Agaseed. Despite the seed giving you every reason to think it was an Agaseed, if you just brought enough money, Zora says, nah, you don't have to do Aga. Okay, luckily, Mr. Scruff here does have the money and will be checking Zora that Windfox unfortunately had to orphan earlier. This will be kind of a time loss for Windfox having to make the extra trip, but it's gonna work out. And it looks like the boss in Eastern is Helmasaur King. Hateful Bay is making the play. All right, Scruff gets the glove and then gets some rupees to refresh right after. Meanwhile, Windfox stole the key to go to the back here and got nothing to show for it. And Obscure is our first player into the Dark World, heading over towards Stumpy and Dig Game. I guess I missed Hype Cave. It doesn't look like there was anything there, though. And here comes Helmasaur for Hateful Bay. We are pretty well equipped for Helmasaur, already having the hammer on hand, and the Master Sword even should not be an issue at all. Oh, did we get half magic in Hype Cave? That's nice. Yeah, we don't hate half magic. Half magic's especially nice in boss shuffle because, like when you go to the boss of Turtle Rock or Ice Palace, like it's Cold Stare and Trinex, so you're prepared to have enough magic. But if you're in the back of desert or something, it's nice to make sure you always have plenty of magic no matter what this boss is going to be. Vanilla Heart Piece on the Dig Game and Save and Quit from Obscure. Hateful Bay gets First Blood Crystal number 1 for Noble Foxes. All right, Windfox headed to Hype Cave. Meanwhile, I think Hateful Bay and Obscure are going to be splitting up here. Oh, no, they're both going to the mountain? No, here we go. Obscure heading over to Kakariko. Okay, now I don't know what's going on. What are you doing? Hateful Bay. I thought one of them would head up the mountain while the other one heads to Kakariko. Oh, Hateful Bay doesn't have the glove yet. Yeah, that'll do it. Right, Hateful Bay still has to make that trip over to Zora. Everyone else has a glove. What's taking you so long, Hateful Bay? Come on. All right. Meanwhile, Obscure does head towards the Darkwall portal here at north of Kakariko. Meanwhile, Windfox making the Pyramid to Catfish play. Just check these real quick for their team. It is the Ether Medallion sitting on the pyramid. Only time will tell if that matters in any way, but probably. In general, medallions you have are more likely to be required than medallions you don't have. Not heading on to Catfish, though, going straight into Pod. I know my teammate has it, therefore I have it. I've made that problem playing by myself. I saw it on the ledge, therefore it's in my inventory. First shield in the brewery. Okay, Hateful Bay, glove in hand. Now we go to the mountain, right? Oh, back of escape. Okay, that's fine. Scruff, though. All right, Scruff's going to be our first person up the mountain. Currently, mountain's place to be. Mountain is the most dense area we can go to. All right, first check of Pendant Pod. It is the big key. We are bow locked, but we have a bow, so it's fine. Also, it's Randomizer, so we don't care that it's bow locked as much. And Hateful Bay following Mr. Scruff up the mountain here. Oh, that Hinox, though. Rude. Somehow Thieves Town is so far less dangerous than the mountain. And we do have Argus in Thieves Town, so we will be able to kill him pretty easily. But very few items in the front. I'm not sure how many exactly, but like one at most, right? Yeah, because they got the compass and the key. A Lionel guarding the way. All right, and here's Argus from Obscure Life Form. And Obscure actually is still on Fighter Sword, never made that trip into Eastern to get the Master Sword. All right, one more puff. And starting phase 2, easy fight for Obscure. Never mind, hold on. Wah! Don't die! Apparently Argus had other plans. Okay, there we go. Obscure takes out Argus, gets another crystal for Noble Foxes. Meanwhile, Paradox Cave does not seem to have anything for either Scruff or Hateful Bay. And Pod, as always, is very light early on. Mostly just keys in the front. All right, so because this is boss shuffle, Obscure was able to kill the boss without checking the back of Thieves Town. But now that we've done that, he will be going back in to see what remains. And hopefully being able to tell his partner, don't bother. Oh, unfortunately, Windfox has a big spike guarding the bridge here, so no hammering up today. But we're not playing Key Sanity. It's not that big a deal. And we got the compass and see that it is Vanilla Helmasaur in Pod. Tower of Hera so far, not much, just you might want to like deal with that guy. Hey, Phil Bay. Okay, here we go. I'm surprised he didn't just fire on the ball and chain guard so he'd stop messing with what he was trying to do, but he got it done. Lag-tastic. 4 stabby guards at the top of Hera. And the Quake Medallion is our second item. Oh, Scruff using a older setup for Hera Pot, but nonetheless effective. And Hateful Bay just really wanted to make sure this other floor was empty. Yeah, it was. Okay, back upstairs. And Windfox taking a Death Warp, I assume just for hearts, because we do have the mirror in pod. You know, it's weird to say this, but I think Moldorm's platform is actually the worst place to fight Mothula. But every place to fight Mothula is the easiest place, so it all works out. And there you go, another crystal for Noble Foxes. Obscure finishes up back of Thieves Sound. I don't think we found anything super great there. Maybe the powder was back there, from what I can tell by the tracker. But it'll be a hot minute before we find out if that's at all any value. All right, Scruff headed up to fight Mothula as well. Meanwhile, Obscure going into back of Skull Woods, which hopefully isn't some gross boss. Like, I guess Vitreous would be the worst one. Yeah, especially for Obscure, who's still on Fighter Sword. Yeah, you do not want to fight Vitreous back here. Powder and Randomizer is a nice safety. That is true. Anti-fairies are only defeatable by the powder, and sometimes they can be real frustratingly obnoxious. So Obscure was just checking the vanilla big key chest. Didn't get a key. Remembers didn't get a key. Just find the first item, the heart container there in the big chest. And the compass will tell him the boss if he checks it. He's not going to check it. Okay. But finding no key in those first two checks means you're probably fine if you just drop. So he's dropping here. Immediately met by 2 red cards. And there is Pendant Helmosaur for Windfox. I didn't drop anything super important. Green Pendant might matter, though. But we did find the mirror and pod, so everyone will need to make their way to pod at some point. There's map and compass for Obscure. Windfox already making good use of that mirror, being able to mirror immediately after pod in order to finish off Eastern here. Obscure does not find second item. We'll have to go to the back. And I think if I've been paying attention, Obscure is still missing one of the 3 small keys, so that key has to be the bridge test, and the item must be on the boss, which I don't think we've seen the map check for. You might want to grab that key, though, Obscure. Okay. He doesn't need it. He can get a key from the Gibdo later. It's just because it's Randomizer, it might not be a Gibdo. Might be something more obnoxious. All right, Havel Bay making their way through pod. Gonna get that mirror. Obscure just a couple rooms from the boss here in Skull Woods, but I don't know what it is. Oh, it actually was a Gibdo. Wow. What are the chances? Probably pretty high. And it is blind in back of Skull Woods. I was really worried it was going to be a Vitreous. It would have been quite horrendous for Obscure. He could have done it, but boy, that would not be fun. Making good use of the Canis Maria here to get blind while he's hugging those spikes. Already into phase 2, or phase 3. Meanwhile, Windfox takes out the boss of Eastern, gets crystal number 1 for him. And Obscure finishes off the boss in Skull Woods and gets a pendant. I don't think it was progression. Mitts plus book / flute for go mode? Possibly. I guess we don't have all the information yet, because we don't know what medallion opens up Turtle Rock. But like I said earlier, the medallions you have are a lot more likely to be required, so we know where Ether and Quake are, so it's probably not Bombos. We will also need the Canis Maria, but I think Obscure found that, yeah. All right, Windfox, mirror, hookshot, hammer in hand, flippers on your feet. I think it's time for Swamp. Dollars to donuts. This is where we're going to find the mitts. But it's not the only possibility. And there's mirror for Noble Foxes. Glad to finally have that information. Does Hayfield Bay bother with Helmasaur? No. So I think like leaving after you get the mirror like this in a pendant dungeon, this is a standard way to route in a normal like 1v1 match. Because like what are the chances, right? There's progression in pod and on the boss. You know, it's a lot more likely that the mirror is the only thing there and you just move on with your life. But in co-op, you know, I would have thought it more likely he would just stay and make sure there was nothing else in there, and then his opponent could skip it later, or his partner rather. But we know that this is going to work out because there was nothing on Helmasaur. We found out from Windfox. Nice 2-cycle there from Mr. Scruff. Takes out Argus in Thieves Town. For a map. Did Windfox check Sahashala? I don't know. He definitely had the capability of doing so. But I don't know if he remembered to do it after Eastern. Sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect between what a runner should know and what a runner does know. Because, you know, we're all human and make mistakes constantly without fail. All right, Obscure heading into pod, gonna grab that mirror. We'll see if Obscure opts to stay and see what's on Helmasaur. Obscure's probably also going to finish off Eastern while he's here and get that Master Sword finally. I don't think we saw anything on left side swamp, so Windfox will be heading to the back of swamp here. Again, this is very likely where we're going to find the Titansmiths. Oh, going for the OG strat of just push the statue. No diver down. Oh, Naval forgot the key. There we go. Hayfield choosing to go to the back first. All right, and we'll see the bomb diver down setup here from Hayfield Bay. Ten arrows. Okay. Is there nothing in swamp? We have one more check. You missed the drain sound effect. It's a nice sound effect. All right, and the boss of Swamp Palace is Trinex, and we do have the ice rod. It's just not marked. It's okay. I was scared for a second, but it's just the tracker. There we go. And here comes Trinex phase 2 for Windfox, just as Hayfield Bay starts phase 1. Don't die. There we go. Down goes Trinex in Swamp Palace. And our reward... a trip back inside! Yay! Just a big key on Trinex, so we're gonna have to go back inside to open that big chest. A little more convenient for Hayfield Bay because he did skip left side, so he can do those on the same trip if he so chooses. Oh, we're not going back in? Do we know it's a compass, maybe? Maybe I missed the compass. I know I saw the map, but I didn't remember the compass. Yeah, it must be compass. There's no reason not to go back in otherwise. But the important thing is we did not find progression at all in Swamp. That was not the place to be. Our options are getting thinner and thinner. All right, what are we not seeing? Graveyard Ledge. Magic Bat. What else? Anything else? King's Tomb. It's hard to pay attention to 4 screens at once. Yeah, it's 4 times harder than 1 screen at once, and I have trouble with that already. We're making it happen, though. Here, we'll see what's in the big chest from Hayfield Bay. Oh, it was an item. Windfox just, like, hard skipped an item. It wasn't important, so I guess that's fine, but very surprising. It must have been like a tracker error or something. Oh, is Pyramid Fairy available? Sorry, the screens are all tiny. I can't tell which ones are red. Hera and Swamp. Okay. All right. So it was what would we say? Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb, Magic Bat, Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, Pyramid Fairy next for Havel Bay seems likely. Probably a stopover to K45 first, but right after. Those vicious red guards. And it looks like Obscure is going back in for Helmosaur. But unfortunately did not count the keys properly and has to make the long trip around, I guess. Probably wasn't expecting to have to do this. I imagine that's what happened. As Obscure is going through Eastern, Hateful Bay is probably saying like, don't worry, I'll find the Mitts and Swamp. It'll be okay. And Hateful Bay, yeah, heading over to K45. All right, so no one's doing anything new at the moment. We have Obscure going through Pod to get the big key. All right. Yeah, I didn't even do that. He went straight to the back. That's right. He already knows everything here except for the boss, so I can only imagine he's here to get the boss, but has to get a proper amount of keys in order to do so. Hateful Bay finishing up the South Dark World, getting that Canis Maria, probably going to continue on to Pyramid Fairy. Scruff going through Swamp just to kill the boss, knows the rest of it's empty. And Windfox is getting new information for Farm Friends by killing the boss of Skull Woods, which we know is blind, and also nothing. So Hayfield Bay, bottom left here, is the screen to watch. This is the only one with new information for us. What is in Pyramid Fairy? Is it the mitts? Is it the book? Is it a shovel for hilarity? Is it nothing and we're still looking? Okay, I think Obscure finally has enough keys and can go to the boss here. I love that Hateful Bay checked that it was Ether first before jumping over. But yeah, he should have known it was Ether from Obscure. All right, here's Pyramid Fairy. We found 20 rupees and the Titans mitts. There you go. Finally found it, chat. The seed can continue. All right, so a definite edge for Noble Foxes at the moment. But it looks like Scruff's headed straight to Pyramid Fairy next. All right, more new information out of Hayfield Bay here. We'll check King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge since we're conveniently nearby. All right, so what are we looking for? What do we need for Go Mode? We need, I guess, just maybe Bombos? We also need access to Desert, so either Flute or Book. Yeah, so definitely Flute or Book, and maybe Bombos. We won't find out until we get up to Dark Death Mountain. Oh, Windfox! No, Windfox! All right, blind in Mothfiel's room is not fun. All right, Windfox just gonna call it a day. We know that this is the best move to just say, you know what, screw it, we don't need this. But his team does not know that yet. All right, Hayfield Bay enters the Dark World here on the mountain. Gets a new checks out of Super Bunny and then Hookshot Cave, and then we'll find out which medallion is required to open Turtle Rock. We have 2 of the 3, so it's probably one of those, but it could be Bombo's. Meanwhile, Obscure going to turn in that green pendant and find out that that entire trip into Pod was unhelpful. Just a heart container on green pendant. Hayfield White does pick up the book in Super Bunny, so we are potentially in go mode for Noble Foxes. Although we wouldn't hate to see silvers or tempered. doubly maybe go mode. Triply maybe go mode. All right, so that's guaranteed go mode. We found everything we wanted to find. The book and the flute, so we can definitely get into Desert, and the 3rd medallion, so we can definitely get into Turtle Rock. That's it. Obscure and Hayfield Bay for Noble Foxes are in go mode. It was Ether to open Turtle Rock. Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Scruff took his mitts into Ice Palace first, so it's going to be a little bit before Farm Friends finds out everything they need is on Dark Death Mountain. And Bombos sure would be nice right now for Mr. Scruff. 2 BMOs in this room is so mean. Just get me out of here. There we go. All right, please no Wall Master. Please no Wall Master. Yeah, finding safety items would definitely be nice, especially offensive safety items. Somebody remind me of the rules. How do you win? Is it like an average of the times, or is it just the last person to finish? Average of both runners' times. Okay. All right, so currently the crystal counts are 2 for Obscure. He's about to get a 3rd. 3 for Hayfield Bay, working on his 4th. 2 for Windfox, heading towards his 3rd. And 4 for Scruff, working on number 5. So Farm Friends is currently lacking information that they can stop checking stuff. But it's not going to be that long until they figure it out, because they already know where the mitts are. The mitts are the big piece of the puzzle. Like, as soon as he's done here in Ice Palace, we're going straight to the mountain. Windfox's remaining dungeons are faster. Yeah, Thieves is definitely real fast. And I think Mr. Scruff already got the information that not to go to the back here. So it should just be Argus and then leave. And then Hera also very fast. You can just Hera Pod go straight to the boss. It's hard. I'm finding it difficult. It's hard to say which team is in the lead right now. I think Noble Foxes has the advantage because they have the information, but it's not going to be that long before Farm Friends has that as well. The book and the flute and the 3rd medallion were all on Dark Death Mountain in Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave. Everything you could possibly need, just go to Super Bunny Hookshot Cave. All right, Mr. Scruff grabs a fairy for safety. And looks like no wall master, thank goodness. That's the worst place to get picked up by a wall master. We do have a Vitreous fight, and Mr. Scruff does not have a ton of gear for this. No cape or blue cane to make this easier. No slime to damage boost. And we are on 2 hearts right now. Oh my goodness, we do have that fairy. We have the fairy. It's going to be okay. All right, easy fight for Scruff. All right, Scruff picks up crystal number 5. All that's left is a trip up the mountain for items, and then go back down for desert. Mirrors and then save and quits. Okay. We didn't have to do that, but okay. Maybe was thinking about doing something else. All right, straight to the mountain for Mr. Scruff. This is going to be what they're looking for. This is the information they need. Meanwhile, it looks like Windfox is going to head up and grab Spike Cave. Oh, Hera, right, and then probably Spike Cave after if we don't have the information by then. Obscure picking up crystal number 4 here from Trinex, while Hayfield Bay goes into the boss of Turtle Rock to find Lan Molas. Just missed that first cycle. Just fire on him. Why not just fire on him? There we go. For Windfox. All right, crystal again for Noble Fox's Hayfield Bay picking up the Turtle Rock crystal, making 4 on the day. And Scruff heads into Hookshot Cave here, which is where we will find Go Mode. Flute and Bombos were both in here. Okay. So it looks like Windfox is having some issue with the altitude, I guess. Maybe picked up the drop at the wrong spot. There is a much simpler way to do this trick that was discovered since that one was discovered, but it still works. There we go. Okay, so both teams have all the information they need to finish the game. Obscure is getting mitts right now, and then we'll need to go up the mountain to get Flute and... well, Flute. And then has to do Desert, Ice, Turtle Rock. Hayfield Bay has everything he needs, but has to do Desert, Thieves, Ice. Windfox needs to go get the mitts from Pyramid Fairy. Finish Hera that he's in right now, and then go up the mountain, and then do Desert, Ice, and Turtle Rock. So it looks like Windfox is the farthest away from being done. Scruff, however, is the closest to being done, having everything he needs, and just has to finish TR, which he's in right now, and Desert. So it's kind of a split here. Since it's the average of the runners, because it looks like Scruff's going to finish first, and Windfox is going to finish last. But is the margin of difference going to be so big that Hayfield Bay and Obscure's times will end up being better overall? And then how will the GT Big Key placement factor into this? Okay, Windfox heading straight to Pyramid Fairy. Hathel Bay picking up Thieves Town Crystal, and then needs to do Ice and Desert. And still, nobody's found silvers. Nobody's found tempered. All right, Obscure gets Flute Bombas, or well, Flute anyway, and then saves and quits. Gonna finish Turtle Rock last, it seems. That works out to be faster because you have to climb the mountain again for GT later anyway. So you might as well combine those two on the same trip. All right, Windfox finishing up Pyramid Fairy will get the Titan Smiths here, but still has to make a trip up the mountain and 3 crystals. I don't think the B's gonna help, but you never know. It's IDK wall kicks. It's I don't know, not I don't care. Are you even a 90s kid? Scruff has not done Desert yet, no. Okay, this room, I think we can safely say that this room in Ice Palace is the worst room in this entire seed. 2 Beamos, Hinox, and some Ropas keeping you from hitting that switch. What's going on for Scruff? Did we skip a key, or was it just like the worst layout ever? All right, I'm not following what's happening for Scruff. You don't have a key. What are you doing? He killed the wrong enemy? Yeah, this is unfortunate news for Scruff. Because he's been like the leader right now. So losing some time here might change that. Why are you not killing the Hinox? What is happening? Did he kill the Hinox before and it didn't have the key, or? I'm very confused. Alright, I guess we'll see. The Pokey in here has a key as well. Yeah, he got that one. So did you skip a chest, or was it the Hinox? Where are we going, Scruff? 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 No, what? Scruff? Okay. Okay. All right. We'll handle that one later. Never mind, we're going back. Why did you save and quit? All right, I am nothing but questions right now. Why did you save and quit? And if you saved and quit, why didn't you just go finish desert and then come back after? I can't even conjecture what's going on with Scruff right now. I think maybe I mean, it is possible to like despawn a key like that, but I'm not sure how easy that is to do in Turtle Rock. Usually you see that with the pot keys in Thieves Town. All right, Windfox headed up the mountain, gonna get the Go Mode Flute out of Hookshot Cave. But yeah, it does appear that these Turtle Rock flubs have changed the lead. It looks like Hayfield Bay will now be the first runner to finish the game. Or is on pace to be the first runner to finish the game. Heading towards crystal number 7 right now. Okay, so Scruff skips the first 3 checks, knows he already did them. And then he's killing these enemies just to be sure, but you already did that. You saw that they were nothing. He thought something was incurably wrong. That does seem that way. Oh, nice spike roller. Okay, so he's going back to the lava chest, or at least to the room before it, and then we just need to kill the Hinox, right? Like, surely that's what we're missing. Kills the mimics first. Bunny beamed. Kill the Hinox! Kill the Hinox! Why would you not? He's right there! What? What? Why wouldn't he kill the Hinox? I don't... That's twice you went to that room, killed every enemy but the Hinox. Why? So the only thing I can think of, because it's not like he didn't see the Hinox, right? The only thing I can think of is he thinks that the Hinox can't have the key. But why would you think that, right? All right, Hayfield Bay with 7 crystals in tow, heading up the mountain for Ganon's Tower, chat. So we will be following Hayfield Bay's count to find out where the big key in Ganon's Tower is. So there's 22 locations. So you guys feel free to guess which one you think the big key is going to be in, and we'll watch Hayfield Bay in the bottom left to see what number it ends up being. All right, so Windfox is also going through Turtle Rock now. So maybe Windfox will be able to tell Scruff where the key is that was missed. I was not watching to see what had happened on Scruff's first playthrough this dungeon was. Like, why he wasn't even attempting to kill the Hinox, I'm not sure. It's possible that he knows the Hinox doesn't have a key, and that's why he's skipping it, and the answer is just like a missed chest or something. Yes, he's killing extra enemies in rooms where the key isn't even dropped. Why wouldn't you even attempt to kill the Hinox? Even if you were sure the Hinox can't have it, why not even attempt to kill him? Just in case. You've been killing everything else, right? I don't know. All right, we're gonna see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, you can despawn keys in Randomizer. Specifically in rooms where like enemies that normally aren't there are like there. All right, kills the Mimic 1. Kills Mimic 2. And still ignoring the Hinox? Why? Kill the Hinox. All right, Windfox is going to kill the Hinox for us. Scruff is waiting for confirmation. Yes, the Hinox does have the key. Scruff goes back to kill the Hinox. Why were you not killing the Hinox? Oh, okay. We solved the puzzle. We solved the puzzle. It was just the Hinox. For whatever reason, we'll have to ask him later, but for whatever reason, Scruff just had written off the Hinox as a possibility for where the key could be. This does look to be an insurmountable lead, though, for Noble Foxes, because Hayfield Bay is already in GT, Obscure is on his last crystal, and both Windfox and Scruff have to go to Desert after Turtle Rock here. Was somebody counting the checks that Hayfield Bay was doing? Because I was not. I was preoccupied. Well, there it was in the 4th chest of Compass Room. Number 12? Oh, he did Stalfos Room first? Okay. He missed by 1. Well, it doesn't look like anybody guessed 12. As far as I can tell. So, Dane35, you were the closest without going over, which everybody knows is the proper way to play the GT Big Key guessing game. So, congratulations, Dane35, for being closest. All right, Windfox and Scruff are both reaching Lambo about the same time. Scruff doing bow strats for some reason. Unclear why you would do that. Okay, Fire Rod. Yes, Fire Rod is more effective. There we go. Obscure also finishing up the boss of Turtle Rock. But this is Obscure's 7th crystal, and he'll be able to join Hayfield Bay in Ganon's Tower with knowledge of where the big key is exactly. Meanwhile, Scruff and Windfox both have to go back to the Light World and finish off Desert. He must have a reason why he didn't kill the Hinox, because it's not like he didn't see the Hinox, right? There must be a reason. All right, Hayfield Bay finishes off Cold Stare at Land Mode 2, and Obscure opens GT here. We have one more random boss to deal with. I hope it's a good one. Who have we not seen? Armos, but it can't be here. All right, Obscure knows exactly where the big key is, heading straight over to Compass Room. Nice spike roller in the torches too. Boy, that's upsetting. Or torches 1, rather. All right, last chances for Sword and Silvers. So far, nothing. All right, and our boss, our final boss, Cold Stare at Moldorm 2. Oh, Bombo's coming in handy. So you want to use the Fire Rod here to make this really quick, but any magic you use, you won't have for the Ganon fight. But half magic turns out it's pretty good. All right, and final chest. No sword, no silvers. We are finishing this race off with Master Sword Silverless, chat. All right, simultaneous Moldorm and Desert kills for Windfox and Mr. Scruff. Both runners heading up to the mountain next for their GT climb. I do not know if Hayfield Bay has anything in his bottles. But yeah, Masters of Silverless fight, you can make it a lot easier by spending magic on like the cape and such. And regardless, you're going to have magic to light that torch a bunch of times for Phase 4. All right, here we go. Ganon fight for Hayfield Bay. Bottom left, chat. Master Sword Silverless, we have to spin him 12 times for Phase 1, spin him 12 times for Phase 2, spin him 4 times for Phase 3, and then spin him 24 times for Phase 4. Oh, getting some slick Samaria strats here in order to force double spins when he's out in the open. Yeah, Hayfield Bay opted not to leave the pyramid to go get new potions or anything. Presumably, he just has like a magic refill. He must have a magic refill if you're doing the Master Sword Silverless fight with this little magic. Oh, and he's using the cape? Yeah, he has to have a magic refill, chat. There's no way he doesn't. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, Scruff grabbing Ether Tablet? No help, though. Sword would have been real nice. Oh, running out of health, though. Won't matter what your magic looks like. All right, Hayfield Bay gets to Phase 3. 3 hearts remaining, very little margin for error here. And I always say this, but Master Sword Silverless is not like that much harder than just regular Silverless Ganon. It's just longer. It's just more opportunities for you to make a mistake. And when you can't afford any mistakes, that's the part that makes it harder. Oh, it was silvers in GT. Of course it was. You just have to fight probably Trinex or something, right? Okay, only about 50 more spins to go. We're getting there. One spin at a time. Me random. Yeah, that's true. Ganon, are you dead yet? Come on, buddy. I wonder if Hateful Bay is counting. Ah, there we go. Okay, 24. Hateful Bay takes down Ganon. After the fanfare crosses the bridge and finishes with an official time of 1:15:54. Very fast. All right, our first finisher was Hateful Bay on Noble Foxes. Obscure not too far behind, just Agatu and Ganon remaining. Meanwhile, Windfox and Scruff both starting their climb. Oh, wait. Scruff and Windfox have silvers. Where were silvers? I just noticed that. Double Fireburn. Oh, I see. They went left first. Okay. Random Rush is clearly the best route in all situations. Well, I mean, I guess it's not much of a consolation, but it's a little bit of a consolation that you don't have to work as hard on your Ganon fight. Obscure, however, does not have the silver arrows and will be doing Master Sword serverless just like Hateful Bay. Having to use the potion in phase 2 is not ideal, but it's as long as we get to the last phase, we'll be okay. Oh, I think he has a blue as well. Oh yeah, so you get to use the cape strats here for phase 2, make it a lot simpler. And we're into phase 3. Windfox making some judicious use of his magic and finds a nice refill there. Right before Cold Stare. Alright, is it just me, or is it really unsettling to fight Cold Stare on a black floor? Oh, and Windfox is out of refills. That's not ideal. Alright, takes out Cold Stare though. We'll be able to pick up a small magic here in the next room, which will be enough to light the torches. All right, Obscure is still in phase 4. This just takes forever. Can we ban the Master Sword? Just every seed we should start with Tempered, right? Yeah, well, if we end up doing an interview after the race, I'll be sure to ask about what happened with the keys. Unfortunately, Windfox takes a death in the gauntlet. There he goes. Ganon takes his medicine. Obscure finishing the race. Obscure finishes with a time of 1:20.22. And looks like Farm Friends opts to forfeit afterwards. Does that mean we get interviews now? But GG's, definitely GG's, everybody, for Noble Foxes finishing first place in this Week 7 co-op Randomizer race. And well played to Farm Friends as well. And we are joined by Hayfield Bay and Obscure Lifeform. GG's, Noble Foxes.
Yeah, thank you. GG's.
So apparently silvers were in double firebar, if you were curious.
Yeah, we figured it was there somewhere, but we weren't going to go looking for it after we found out from Ganon.
Well, yeah, obviously. But...
yeah, I don't think Farm Friends are going to join us. I think that Randomizer kind of got to them a little bit from what they were saying.
Yeah, there was... we're not really sure exactly what happened, but in Turtle Rock, Windfox just like didn't kill the Hinox that had a key before Lava Chest.
Yeah,
and,
he was saying
I guess he was convinced that it didn't have a key, so he did like everything else instead of killing that Hinox, including leaving Turtle Rock twice.
Yeah, he was saying he was so sure it was the Mimic, and he thought the small key had despawned, which is why he was doing all that shenanigans. And eventually realized.
Yeah, that's I don't think that's actually possible from a drop like that. Like you can despawn a key into a pot because it creates like an extra sprite, but with an enemy, you're replacing a sprite with a sprite, so the key would always drop if the enemy's there at all.
But anyway, it's really rough, yeah. If you believe so.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate because Windfox. I'm sorry, not Windfox. It was Scruff. Scruff had the issue. He was in the lead. He was going to be the first one done until that happened, and then that he fell all the way back from that. I don't know if they would have finished fast enough to win overall because you guys' times were so good combined, and I think Windfox ended up taking like a death in the gauntlet. So it probably wasn't like the difference maker, but it certainly doesn't feel good.
Yeah, sometimes like it's as much as a mental game as it is anything else. Like especially Randomizer, even more so because one little thing can just kind of spiral and it's domino effects, and just one thing leads to another thing, and obviously, especially after the TR incident, his mind was probably somewhere else, and it's hard to get your head back in the game sometimes.
Yeah, it can be difficult not to feel like incredibly behind at all times. When every time you turn a corner, there's another like Chain Chomp biting you on the face, or Hinox bullying you out of the doorway. and then you try to cut corners by like not going and buying potions or something, and then that ends up being like the reason for your demise.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to be a bit prepared for an eventual Ice Trinex. Potion is kind of important.
Yeah. I mean, we had our issues as well. There was a little bit of wasn't too bad, a bit communication breakdown, but I mean, my big mistake was carrying on with pod after Hayfield said he found the mitts, because I made such a huge mess in pod. I was like, okay, I'm determined now.
Yeah, the pod adventure was definitely something else. Because I remember you had gone back in there for the mirror, and then I see you in pod again, and it's hard to follow exactly what everyone's doing because there's some solo comming 4 people, and I see you back in pod, like, oh, he's going to the boss, and then like he's on the bow side, okay, and then he's doing the Stalfos room, like, what is happening? The darn keys, you didn't get the big key out of the shooter.
I forgot to pick the big key up at the front, and then had to go back to pick it up, and then there was no small keys available apart from the ones in the back, so I had to go for it, because the whole idea was for me to get the mirror, go to Eastern while Hayfield clears out Swamp, and to find the next piece of progression, and if he hadn't found anything, then to go and kill Helmer and get the green pendant.
Yeah, I like that play, because like normally you would expect Hayfield to be the one to just do Helmasaur while he's there, but if you find Mitts and Swamp, then you can just both of you skip it entirely. Like, who cares? It's just Helmasaur.
Exactly. At that point, we were kind of like desert access go mode, and potentially Bombos for TI.
Yeah, and then everything just ends up in Hookshot Cave. Now, all in all, it was a good race. It was kind of like a whimpering finish, though, because like it looked like it was going to be really close for a while until those Turtle Rock flubs. And we were trying to figure out, like, well, by what margin does Scruff have to beat Hayfield Bay for, Obscure beating Windfox to not matter kind of thing. But, it ended up not mattering at all.
It's a shame because it was do or die for them. They needed to win. So, I mean, it sounds like they put up a really, really good fight. Unfortunate, just a couple of things at the end there. But, yeah, GG's to them. Like, it's Randomizer is tough mode.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, no, GG's. I mean, both races they put up a really, really good fight. So they've been 2 good races. So yeah, GG's both to Farm Friends, Windfox, and Scruff.
GG's to Farm Friends and GG's to Noble Foxes. So if I'm correct, you guys are already out of contention, right? That's what somebody told me.
Yeah, we're already out. We're just Farm Friends had a 50-50 chance. They needed to win one of the 2 to not get demoted. Right. Okay, well, GG's to Noble Foxes. Everybody make sure to follow all 4 of our runners. That's Obscure Lifeform and Hayfield Bay on Noble Foxes, and Windfox470 and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna on Farm Friends. All 4 are great runners and definitely worth checking out. But if you guys don't have anything else, I think we're about ready. No, just thanks for putting this on. It was kind of last minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks to everyone who jumped in to get this restream running, really.
All right, yes, thank you so much to our trackers, Nochiboto and Maximum Barnage. And thank you so much to SpeedGaming for putting this on. And thanks to the League for this awesome tournament. And we'll see you guys next time, chat. Bye-bye, everybody.